Welcome to Trading Lounge and the daily US stocks for Thursday, October the 27th. And I want to start with the S&P here. This is the SPX here, and I just want to have a look at two possible counts. One of them is that we could look at this as the ABC here for the A wave. So just to make things simple, we could look at this as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here, and we have a top in play. Doesn't quite get us to where we wanted to be in terms of a just moving a few things in the background so I can get to this. Doesn't really get us up into our 50 and 60% retracement level area up here into the 4,000. But sometimes we just don't get what we want, so we just got to be a little bit cautious. So this is one way to count it. Because Microsoft really fell out of bed on the earnings, and some of the other ones have done as well, the only way to count them up is an ABC pattern like this. I mean, in some instances you could put A wave here and have an A and a B and a C wave here, but most of them have a bit of an overlap in here. But in one way or another, that could be the case. Right, so that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it as well, while we're here, is okay, we can still do that. So we can just go here with the A wave here, the B wave here, and put the C wave up there for a moment. Don't worry about the degrees of structure that I'm using. The other, so from the B wave here, we look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So that's all a little bit about face. So I could just do the right thing for a change and put these into perspective a bit better. So yeah, so this would be the other count here. So we're looking at the A and the B here, and then 1 and 2 here, and this pullback that we're looking at now as a wave 4. So even though this is the S&P, stocks can be much the same as well in all of this. So these are the two counts. So in this one here, this would pull back. Don't need this one now. Remove that. Grab another one. We don't need to work in such a small space. We can just... So just taking this low here and this high here, that gives us that 38.2%. So we should be able to see this just in 3 waves come down to this space. And then the length of this from B here to wave 1 here, that length here, can, if the extensions in wave 3 here, can be here. So that's what we'd be looking at that point. So they're the two counts in a nutshell. I mean, there's more counts, but that'd be the two sort of logical ones. And so it's kind of, you know, it's healthy to, I mean, it's extra work, but it's healthy to have a couple of counts. Now, if the market was going to be like bullish, well, then I wouldn't turn bullish unless I had that 61.8%, the 4,000, as a tested support, and that would have to give me a classic trading levels pattern in that space. So that's didn't pan out very well, and then it's going to give me the green monster, which I still can't get rid of. So I'd have to get something like that on the 4,000, you know. So we don't have to worry about a big bullish market at the moment, you know. I mean, anything is possible, you know. I mean, it's very difficult to turn bullish when, you know, when the world view is so negative. But in a way, that's kind of what you've got to do in trading. So, you know, we'll be mindful of that. We're mindful of that. But our strategy would be to have a good support on this 4,000 if we're going to be bullish, you know. So, yeah, they're the two counts. So what we can do is, we know that this on the SPX here, I'm using the SPX because I normally use a CFD platform and it's got a slightly different price, and many of our users now are in the US. So yeah, maybe I'll need to sort of fix that up, but I just like the charting program that I got. Maybe I just should use the futures. So if this 38.2% retracement level here at whatever that is, at 3.8 here, if so, yeah, we could do that. So if 3.8 here became the retested resistance, close enough for the time being, it's all good, so we can just clear that up now. So what we could say, if that 3,800 became the retested resistance, then we've got a top in play. That would be a fair assumption. This move down here looks a little bit impulsive, so we could look at an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave for that. So that's where we are. But like I said, with Microsoft falling out of bed, it kind of dropped right way down here somewhere, and there's other ones that have done the same. I think Google's in the same thing as well. So in those cases, when those markets have fallen out of bed from their tops here, come down to here, or coming down here, we have to look at those as the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave here in those cases, right? And then this move down here becomes wave 1 here. We'll be looking for wave 2 to come back, and so they've already started their move to the downside, I believe, you know. So yeah, and also this 5th wave that comes in up here, it, you know, if it does, let's just say that we get an A and a B and a C correction here, the move up here might just come a little way up, you know what I mean, and then roll over. So we just need to be kind of careful about everything, you know, at this point in time. Yeah, so anyway, I just thought I'd shoot the breeze on a nice clean slate there for the S&P in this case. So with Apple here, yesterday we were looking for a wave forward, a pullback. So just opening this up here, it does appear we've got a nice A wave. I don't know about nice, but an A and a B and a C wave down here. So it's at the 38.2% now. So that could cruise along. Oh, excuse me. So we don't want it coming down any further, okay? So we do need to, this is, you know, Apple's a biggie, you know, so we do need to see it, you know, basically find support on the 150 here. We need to see an impulse wave up here. You can go along above the top here, and that will take us up, and we'll get 5 waves to the upside here, so up yonder here somewhere, you know. So that's what I'm thinking for Apple. And the next one's Nvidia. I wouldn't pay too much attention to Nvidia and the count that I've got here, but I've changed it again. I'm sorry, but I just got to keep sort of tweaking it. It's not really a stock that's going to give me the consensus of the market, really. I'm trying to get the market to fit to this, you know, so it's not really a, I know the, you know, the whole chips are, you know, big business at the moment and yada, yada, yada. But, yeah, so look, I'm just thinking that we're in some sort of 4th wave here that can come back to the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree or to here and have that push up to finish that off. And then we'll start looking, then we'll start sort of honing in on the bear market side of things, you know. So if you're long in any of these, you know, I don't like to tell people to get in or to get out and all the rest of it, but I do feel that we're possibly, you know, getting towards the basically with the trend, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end, and it's not a very good example here, but I do feel that we're kind of getting towards the end of these trends, and we're going to see overlapping wave structures, we're going to see weird things. Amazon also had its earnings as well, so I don't think this is the right count here. So I probably need to put this A wave back here, but it you know, it fell out of bed from its earnings, and now I've got to kind of see how the dust is going to settle. I need to see if we're going to get I've got to see if we're going to hold here first, you know. I've got to see if I can call that a wave 1 here and a wave 2 here first. So between that low here and that high, this is the 50-60%. So if this becomes the resistance here, then we've got a top in place, you know, and I'll have to go the A, the B, and put the C wave right here for that. It's possible, you know, so I'll just see, I just want to see if even if this comes down here, at the moment we've got an A and a B and a C, so that's good. In fact, that can actually go to that one. Too high for a wave 4 to go back up, so yeah, looking at it as an impulse wave. It's pulled back a bit deeply here, so I'm a bit reluctant about that as well, so I'll take that off the thing. But if Apple's going to move up, we should see this move up as well. But I don't have any answers here today for any of this, especially for the stocks that have had their earnings and have pretty much broken out of their little trend channels. Or this one basically hasn't. I mean, it's kind of still there in that regard, but you know, this is the 61.8%. So it'd be below this, and definitely we've done it. I just need to see if it can recover. That's what I'm trying to sort of figure out, you know. Yeah, so I'll just see. I don't know. I don't have any answers for this one at the moment. And Meta Platforms had its as well. So I was looking at a nice A wave, B wave, and then 5 waves up for the C wave here. You know, I can't put wave 4 here because it's deeply overlapping wave 1. So a couple of important things here is that this first move off the low here is very clearly in a 3-wave structure. Sorry, so that means that it's corrective. At some point we're going to be taking that low out. So that's step 1. So then I was thinking, well, the A wave, an A and a B and a C for the B wave, that was all going well, and I was looking for 5 waves up to finish this off, and now I've got this here. So now I've ended up with, you know, a situation where, you know, I need to either bring in WXYs, or I could possibly put this over here for a B wave over here and look for one more run to the upside here to finish that off here. So an A, B, and some sort of C wave here, or WXY for the B wave, and then up. So I'm a little bit sort of unsure. It's, you know, having those earnings have chucked a bit of a spanner in the works, and yeah, so I'm kind of expecting another move to the upside, you know, so that means that all the stocks will do that. So we'll just wait and see. But like I said, I know that this move up here is a corrective move, so it makes all of this corrective. Wave 4s can get very complicated in their correction. So I'll just let the dust settle here, and then we'll pick up the pieces. Netflix is going well. So from wave B here to wave C up here, we're looking for 5 waves. So we've got wave 1 and 2 here. So I'll just see if I could look at this impulse in a different way. This is the best way. So 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, 3, 4 here, and then we've got 1 and 2 here. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the 3rd wave. We're coming into the 4th wave here, and then there'll be the 5th wave here, and then there'll be the 4th, and then there'll be the 5th wave here. I think that's how it is. I don't think that I could squash it up. I mean, I could, no. I'm thinking about could we put wave 5 here and wave 3 on here for that, and then put this over here, but it's just too small. It's not the right thing to do, so we'll just stay with that. It's all right to think. It's okay to be wrong. So yeah, that's that pathway there. So that's still got a fair bit to go up, really. It's got that move, that leg, and this leg. So we need to sort of take that on board, because this market, you know, it could do it without the rest of the market, of course. But it's just an example that this is a nice structure. There's nothing wrong with it. So it should play out according to, you know, it may not go this high and all those sorts of things, but it should, you know, finish its pattern. So yeah, we need to, this could be something we take on board for, see if any other stocks have got that type of distance to go, you know. Maybe I got the S&P wrong a little bit, you know, and it still needs to go. The S&P needs to do this, this, and this, you know, up to 4,000, you know. So we'll keep an eye on that. This is well, all this moved quite quickly, didn't it? It wasn't very painful. It was like getting a tooth pulled quickly. So yeah, so yes but no but. So right, okay, so we have to be careful, because the move down here, it can be counted as corrective and could just continue up as a big bull market. But the fact that I can count it as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here, within reason, without pushing any boundaries and all the rest of it, well, then we need to take that on board as being, you know, a possible impulse wave here, and then looking for the corrective wave, and then having another wave down here for wave C of 4 here. So yeah, let's just see what we get here. So far, it's moved through the 61.8%, which is about here, but it's very typical of a market to be pulled up to the closest largest number in all of this. You know, it's just the psychology of the market. So what we need to do now is count this. So we can leave this the same here. We can have the low here as wave A, possibly wave 4, but not you know, not set in stone there for that. Now I could look at this as the A wave and the B wave here, and then going up for the C wave up here, which will be where wave 3 is up here. So as an A wave, a B wave, 1 and 2, I'm going to look at all of this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave here, and then 4 and 5. So when I get to this green wave 5 here, that could also be the C wave here of wave B here. Well, I'll put that over there and put that there, right? So it could go to that move. So it could finish this wave 4 off. That can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or 38.2, which is basically in that little zone there, and that would be some sort of little A, B, and C. Maybe it's already done. It's got to go up from there. I'm not quite sure. It could be the A, the B, and the C in here. I don't know. I think that I could put that over there too, couldn't I? That looks like one. No, that's all part of that. Yeah, that can pull back to there, but it doesn't really matter at this point in time. But what I wanted to say, the A wave and the B wave is really quite small, you know, compared to wave C, which is this humongous big stretch up here for that. So there's no real relationship, you know, with A and C in this correction. So there is a good possibility that it can be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. And yesterday we had this counted up here as 5 waves with all these little dudes here, but I've just expanded it up here as 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 up here for that. So that's a really beautiful picture as the third wave there. I mean, that's textbook stuff, you know. You could frame that. So yeah, so 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So let's just see how it finishes off here. You know, if we do get 5 waves up, well, then we can look to buy the pullback. So that means that, let's just assume for a moment that ends up down here, may not, and then we get this move up here for wave 5 of 3. We'd still need wave 4, and then we'd still need wave 5 to finish this off in the bigger picture. So that's where this wave 5 would come in, and then we could look at this here as wave 1 here, and wave 2 coming back here. And that's, if we got those 5 waves up there, well, then we would be very interested in building little positions through here, and then building a much stronger position on over this side over here for this. So it can go against the market. We're seeing lithium stocks go against the market and so on. So this is in the same space, you know. So yeah, anyway, we just got to keep shooting the breeze over it, and we made a little bit of pocket money up here. So not a lot, but we had a piece of the pie. You know, we didn't run off with the pie. We took a slice, and that was it, you know. So that was okay. I don't really want to get involved in any of this here, and that's what you have to be careful of. If you've made money in a trend, you tend to give it back in the correction, because markets are just trends and corrections of different degrees, and you always get the opposite of what you think you're going to get. So yeah, we just need to be patient again now and see what we get, because, you know, we could certainly have this wave 3 here, and obviously things are never in a straight line, but, you know, we can get this here. Anyway, let's just see what we get coming up here, either 3 waves or 5 waves. That was always the deal, so we'll just stick with that for a while. And Tesla. So we've got that, we've got reasonably nice bounce off the 200 and in 5 waves. So look, it may not pull all the way back here as well, but and it didn't really finish off very nicely here as well. I didn't really get a good grip on this little move here. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a little bit weird, really. It's like almost like a I think this really should be going here, and it shouldn't have spiked down here, and this would play out as 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5. That would, if you know, being a bit philosophical, that's what I do. But I know that, you know, Elliottians will start chucking stuff at me again. But I can tell you that's not, you know, that's not 5 waves from here to here. It would only be if we included these 5 waves here. So yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. But I'll just put it in the middle there. How's that? We'll compromise on that. So yeah, well, anyway, looks like it's, well, getting to the end of the session, I guess. So we're looking for a B wave, and then we're looking for a C wave here. I think that's pretty much the go, because this ties in quite nicely here as 5 waves. It's not like I can go and I can't an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Nah, it doesn't really sort of work. So I think we're on the right track here. I just don't know if we got wave 1 or 3 here, so that would make an ABC for 4 here, or an ABC for wave 2 at this point. Probably the wave 2 would suit a little bit. The wave 2 would suit better with the rest of the world, wouldn't it? You know, it's a very small wave 2 compared to what the NASI and the S&P and all that have done, but it kind of brings them all into that point, because if we're going to start moving into a bear market down here with the S&P and all the other stocks and that, well then that would suit this quite nicely, you know. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so Google. So it just, you know, this is all pretty much a gap in here for this. Okay, so this has made a new low now, so that's good. So, you know, when the other markets, unless the other markets have got a top in, I was still expecting, you know, like Apple having that, if I can just use that as an example, say like with Apple here, we still need to see one more move up here. So I'm thinking with these markets that when Apple has its move up, we'll see a move up into this space. It'll be in 3 waves, so to speak. And then we'll go down, you know, so it should bounce off the bottom here somewhere, have some sort of support. So I can't see inside of here. This is pulled back up. It hasn't pulled back up 50 or 60%, so I can't really, in this case, I can't put wave 2 here. And also in this case too, this I did look at this on a very small tick chart. We've got an A and a B and a C wave here. We don't have 5 waves in this case. So because it didn't rally, it's probably a wave 4 and a wave 5 and then the ABC pattern. So we can look to short this over here somewhere, you know, under the B wave or some other wave. But I'll just let the dust settle, and we need to pick up that golden thread that runs through the story of this. So let's just do that. But yeah, look, one of the things is, as I pointed out with the S&P right from the beginning of the video, looking at this as the A wave, the B wave and the C wave. That's the only way to look at this now, you know. And you could look at this as wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here for that, you know. I mean, also you've got to be a bit philosophical about that, and you also have to spend a lot of time with the trading levels. And I know 1 is the strongest number, and it'll just suck all the orders. It'll suck all the traders' minds to that number, and that's where people put their stops. That's where they get in. That's where there's havoc, you know. And that's why you need to understand that. And if you're using Elliott, you have to understand that, you know, in low liquidity markets, then you know, the wave counts are going to get skewed by large numbers, by large orders, you know. So anyway, that's that. So I can see this is a little 5 wave, so don't go chasing that, because it will need to come back anyway. If it does push back a little bit, then it'll expose the low below you know, so then you could do something with that, but otherwise we need to wait for that. I'm just going to remove these. They're just going to squash back up when I turn the machine off tonight, so I'll just move that. Where are we there? Okay. Microsoft is another one, but with Microsoft here, I think there's, oh no, 1, 2, let's just have a little look at this, shall we? Not that it's a big deal, but whoopsie daisy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So obviously wave 1 or wave A and back here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shall we just go with that? So an A and a B and a C wave. So this is corrective as well. So it's holding up quite well though, isn't it? It still could be, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'll just wait for the dust to settle, see if it goes down a bit further. I mean, if it does go down, it's going to bounce off this 230 here. So it just needs to nip out that. It'll be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 and come down here and then start that move back up. But it could do, this could be the A and the B and the C going up here. I don't know. But anyway, the main point here is that that's a lot of damage done here. So once again, I need to look at this here as well, we can just put that in there now, can't we? That's what I'm saying. We're kind of, because of those earnings, it's like the next leg down has started, you know. That's what I'm thinking. But not quite sure about these, so it'll come clear. The rest of the market, there'll be leaders and followers to the downside, and we can look at. I mean, Microsoft was always, you know, it came down, you know, all the way down here, you know, like a long way. You know, it was sort of like influencing the Nasdaq in a way. Do you know what I mean? It came down deeply down here, you know. Bit of housework while we're here. Yeah, so let's just see, you know, we're starting, here we go, we're starting to get a bearish picture in the market, you know. Is it some other sort of A wave, B wave and C wave up here? I don't think it's got the time to do that, so it should be interesting anyway. Let's just see. This stock did lead coming down, you know, so we could use it to, you know, lead the other ones down. There will be leaders and followers, so anyway, that's that. We'll see. I'll see if we need to put wave 1 here and then wave 2 over here, or we need to allow this to come down a bit further down here and look for an A and a B and a C over here and then down. Don't know. I don't think we can see inside this one either. Let me just have a bit of a look. I don't know if I did look at that. Yeah, a bit difficult to do that. Nothing to see there really. So we'll just give that one a miss, but yeah, so Alphabet and Microsoft. Okay, so Berkshire Hathaway, we've got 2 counts on this. So one of them is that we can count this B wave down here like the other markets, and we can look at it as wave 1 here. Looking at the A wave here with an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, and this C wave came down on this charting program anyway. You know, took that low out here, so I've got to call that the C wave, and it looks like a C wave, you know, and this looks like a B wave here. So if that's the case, then we can have an A and a B and a C in the top here already for this. And this is the 50-60% retracement level, so it's sitting right on that 61.8% or just above it. So we know that, you know, Bill and Bertie like hanging out together, and we know that Microsoft has turned down lower, so it could turn down lower at this point. But otherwise, the other count that we've got is on 100 ticks here. So this is a slightly different count where we have a B wave here going up for the C wave here. So this move that comes down here, I think it's important to have a bit of a look at. So it's a bit hard to count this down. This is what I kind of like this count better, because it's a little bit difficult to count this down here from here, as you know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 is pushing it already in this case, you know, because we've got a bit of overlap at this point, let alone this one here. So to look at this is the A, all of this is the A wave down to here, the B and the C wave for B. So an A wave, a B wave, and going up to the C wave here, you know, back up to these levels here would be another way to look at it. So yeah, I think this is good too, and we can see the stochastics pulling back here just on the 100 ticks, though that doesn't mean much. So yeah, 1 A B C here for 2, and then 1 2 3 4 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave to come up here. So let's just see what we get. But yeah, okay, that's that. And block here, so we're looking 5 waves down here, and then we're looking at this as an A wave, an A B C for the B wave, and a C wave up here. And in this C wave here, I think this is wave 1 and 2 here, and then this is 1 2 3 4 and 5 for the third wave. So I do think that we've got some sort of fourth wave to play out here, and then the fifth wave to come into this space. So that would give us 5 waves up at that point. Okay, so as I mentioned, anywhere between these tops here, all those open and closes in here, that's the point there, 62. 62 is important because 62 is 61.8. So we use the price as a Fibonacci relationship. You know, it works. So, but anyway, between those two things here, between is rough, basically the 65, the medium level, that's the number. But because it was shy here, it means it could be shy over here of that, you know. Okay, so over to the banks. So all the banks are a little bit different from each other. Some have made new lows below here, and some haven't. Some can count down here as 5 waves better than others. Some count down as 3 waves better than others. Some look like they're taking out the top, and some are struggling to move up. So they're all a little bit different. They could be counted differently as well. In this case, we can look at this one here as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming up here. That's what we're doing. You know, there's 2 serious tops here, so it's really going to sort of peg it down a little bit. It's also struggling with 5 here, 5 and then 8. But with 8, we've got group 2 in here, so we can have a look at that on the intraday chart. But basically, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here is one way of looking at it. So we go to 10 ticks from this point, and we bring in a bit more data. So those 5 waves up, we're looking at this here from this B1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 for the third wave, the fourth wave, and we're going up for the fifth wave here, over here somewhere. So in that 5 wave structure, we've been counting up here during the week. So as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, it's possible to put this. I don't have a very nice wave 5 here, so I would like in some of the other banks I put this as wave 4. But the problem is in this case is that I would end up overlapping wave 1 at that point. Is that a big issue? Yeah, possibly. So yeah, well, we could look at this as 1 and 2, 1 and 2. But anyway, like Apple, we're looking at this as wave 4 here. That's turned right on the 38.2% retracement level from that wave 2, and we've got 1 and 2 in here, then 1, 2, anyway, all of the little third wave in here. So yeah, this has got possibly further to go up at this point. And yeah, so we'll have one more move to the upside there. I mean, these trends here, this has taken like, well, that's taken a day or at least. This one here, this wave 1 here has taken more, depending if this was a weekend or not, but it's like 2 or 3 days. So yeah, is wave 4 going to get a bit more complicated? Is it going to tie us up for a day and a half or 2 days? I don't know. And how long will this one be? You know, will that be 2 days? Will that give us, you know, will Thursday be part of still of wave 4 here, and Friday and Monday or something for these guys, you know? We'll see. But anyway, the thing is here, I don't see, it's not telling me it's bearish at this point, you know? If it came below the 35 here, then you can be looking bearish, right? So if you got this 35 as a classic trading, because we have to start talking about, you know, the short side, in whatever way we can. If the 35 becomes the resistance, don't trade it if it just breaks through there. You need that first low below the level, you know. I'm doing it over here, so it'll sit there for next time we look at it. But yeah, otherwise we'll look to go up. We're heading into group 2 here, as I mentioned. So we've got 38. So the other end to that is that level, 36.50 and 37.20 in here. So close enough for the time being. Let me give that a splash of color. And that's group 2. So let's just see how it develops into group 2. But this will be... Now I can extend all this up further if need be, okay? So we will see how that plays out, because I could go... oh no, I think this is the right thing. We'll have a look at the other counts. The other counts are a bit more like the S&P, so we'll push that to the side. This count here, we've got this. This didn't make a new low below here, Goldman's. So we could look at this as 5 waves down, or we could look at it as 3 waves down. As 3 waves down, I need to count 5 waves up there. As 5 waves down, I could count 3 waves up here as an ABC pattern here. So we need to be tracking that we need to be tracking both patterns for for the banks, so we've got a bit of an idea of them. So this is the count for the S&P as well. So the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. We're doing the fourth wave, and then the fifth wave to the upside at 350 or something of that nature. Now it could push up further. We could look at this, you know. Oh no, I think that's okay. Yeah. Quite a nice third wave, isn't it, you know? Anyway, we just keep shooting the breeze about the tops. And this is Morgan's here. So we looked at the bank in 2 different ways. We could look at this in 2 different ways if we wanted to as well. But I'm kind of forced to go with the wave 1 here and going up for an A wave and a B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to finish off here, because I can't look at that as a third wave here, like I did with the first bank with BAC, because this is too short here, right? This is shorter than this length, and it's shorter than this one here is longer than this one. So this is the best fit at this point in time. So yeah, anyway, we've got a few more, you know. Always takes longer than you think to get to the top, and then even when it gets to the top, you kind of go, well, is that the top? Then you got to kind of confirm that. Alrighty, I'll leave it all at that. Thanks for tuning in. This is just crude oil. It just tipped off nicely. Okay, cheers.